Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video, we're going to be doing updated videos on the Smart Chair. So the Smart Chair comes in 3 different models and styles. The standard Smart Chair, the Smart Chair XL, and then you've got the Smart Chair Recliner. So these chairs are inherently exactly the same. The only major difference is this one's got a little bit of added strengthening. It's also got a bit of an extra space between the armrests. So your standard chair is 48 centimetres, your XL chair is 53 centimetres, and your recliner is 48. Remember, we can also add spacer kit to make it 50. So when customers are in between sizes, and we'll go through all this when we're on our telephone consultations or in-house demos, we can then decide what width is going to suit you the best. General rule of thumb is guys that are kind of taller and bigger would go for the XL. Women need a little bit more of allowance just because of their body shape. So guys usually grow out that way, women tend to grow out that way with hips. So what happens is if you get a chair that's too narrow, these bars dig into the side of your hips. So you need to allow enough space between the armrests to allow for hips and for a coat. So when I'm actually going to go, when we do the outside bit of the demo, I'm actually going to demo the Smart Chair. It wouldn't make a jot of difference which of these chairs I went out and demoed. They're all going to perform exactly the same. They all have exactly the same frame, exactly the same wheels, exactly the same motors, joysticks, control units, everything. The only difference is obviously on the recliner, you have the reclining feature, which is useful for certain people's disabilities, and the XL chair is obviously for the larger individual or for people that need that little bit more space between the armrests. I'm just going to keep this chair here for 2 seconds, and I'm actually going to ditch these 2 chairs because there's no point reviewing all 3. Everything I review on the Smart Chair will be exactly the same for these chairs. They are identical. So beforehand, we used to have a key that unlocked the batteries to pop out, but everyone kept losing the key, so we changed the design. It's now tab, so you just twist the tab anti-clockwise, your battery pops out. To pop the battery back in, you just line up the hole, twist this anti-clockwise so the catch doesn't wear out, push in flush and release. So this is what anyone that buys any wheelchair off us now, whether it be a Smart Chair Recliner, a Smart Chair XL or the standard Smart Chair, you're going to get that style. These batteries can be charged on or off the chair. On the chair through the joystick, which will charge both batteries at the same time. There's a little portal, or you can remove the batteries and you can charge directly into this portal in the battery. So you've got 2 options. Right, I'm now going to ditch this chair. I'm just going to quickly show you actually whilst we're on here. This is a very typical setup for a customer that goes for a recliner. We've got the additional headrest, because quite often people that go for the recliner, people with POTS, maybe ME, they have their conk outs, they need to have the time when they have their chill out modes. Also people that need to elevate their legs or leg swelling, it's quite popular. So usually what people like to do is if you go backward this way, they either like to have the leg rest extensions added or a telescopic foot plate, which we've got on here. The advantage of things like telescopic foot plates is when you're inside, you can have it nice and you can have it all the way in, meaning you've got a smaller turning circle. You're not taking up as much room, but then you can have it extended 5 inches and extended another 5 inches for when you're stationary, meaning you never ever have to sacrifice on comfort. So this is a very typical setup for the recliner. And if anyone usually has POTS ME, I'd say 8 times out of 10 they would tend to go for the recliner. Right, so I'm just going to ditch this chair. I'm going to ditch the XL model because they all do the same thing. We don't need all of them here. And I'll talk about this particular chair. Okay, right, so we'll do folding and unfolding and things like that first. So to fold and unfold this chair, we'll keep the joystick on for now, doesn't really matter. If we were, however, folding the chair and putting it into the boot of the car, we would need to remove the joystick. So it's actually a self-locking chair. So when the chair goes back, it locks itself into place, which is an amazing feature. So self-locking, you just put a bit of pressure on here. You then would tilt the top of the backrest forward and then the chair can be folded. So I'll let the cameraman get back into position. Right, I'm now going to bring the weight of the chair back and I'm going to bring my hands together. The reverse option is we can stick in front of the chair, we can bring the chair forward and then we can part the chair. Simply unfolds very, very easily. Alternatively, we can do it again, so a bit of pressure on the backrest, lean it forward, bring the weight of the chair back, side step, bring our hands together. Alternatively, if we want, and this is great for people that have really poor balance, we move the foot plate out so we don't have to do it later on. We lean the chair forward and we allow the chair just to unfold by itself. Okay, let's talk about motors. So we've got 250 watt brushless motors. Brushless motors basically means they're going to be more responsive. They're going to be better for going up and down hills and things like that. They're going to have a more powerful electromagnetic brake built inside. But one of the main reasons, the most important reasons, is when you tap these toggles up and you allow free wheel mode, the chair free wheels in much more of a less resistant way. So a brush motor has lots of little brushes inside the motors, which means there's much more resistance, there's much more to catch on. So pushing a wheelchair up a ramp or putting someone in it is almost, well, it's not impossible, but it's incredibly hard work. Certainly not something you want to do if you have a disability. So you want to have the motor as free running as possible. Also means you can use the chair like a walker or a stroller. And it also means that when the chair is folded, you can then wheel it around like so, or tow it from the foot plate like a suitcase. Okay, so let's discuss, we discussed the batteries a little bit, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. They're 6AH batteries, meaning that they're plane safe on every single airline in the world. They're 24 volt, 144 watts. All of this information comes on a sticker on the battery, so you don't have to guess when you guys are going on planes, travelling, flying, cruise ships, whatever, because this is all information that the airlines are going to want to know. If you want the armrests to come up and out the way for eating, drinking, working, whatever, you've got a little tab here, and you just push that up, and that means you can bring the armrest up. So if you think up for up, down for down, up for up, and you can bring both of these up and out the way. It means you can go underneath tables for whatever really. But it also means that you've got an extra entry point. So I'll move this on the side. I'm going to bring this up. And what I can do is I can actually bring this all the way back and it locks out. I can actually now put a lot of pressure on here, meaning that I can come in from the side. I don't have to mess around with the foot plate, so I can keep it down. And this is great for certain disabilities. It's also great for people that carry a little bit more weight. They find it much more comfortable and easier coming in from the side than from the front normally. I can now push down all of my weight on here, lower myself into the chair, and then all I can do is bring myself around kind of a quarter turn and bring the armrest back down. And it's great for coming out of the chair because I lock it out. I can now put all my weight on here and lever myself up out of the chair. A higher point of leverage is always going to be easier for getting in and out. It almost acts a bit like a crutch. Anything higher is going to help pull you out. So if you had a partner or something like that, you could put one hand on here, they could pull you up with the other hand, and that's probably the safest way of you getting in and out of the chair if you have very weak legs. So maybe something like fibromyalgia, MS, something like that. Okay, let's drop this back down. So if you do lock this out, however, this won't come down. So same on all the other chairs, you have to push from behind if you ever lock it all the way out. You will see the strength of these chairs. This is why there's such a difference between the lower entry-level models to the sort of stuff that we have. They are quality. I mean, I'm 13.5 stone, I'm pushing all of my weight down on this chair. You can see that it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. That is the advantage of buying something quality, better build structure. I mean, these chairs, I can put all of my weight, I can rock around, I can go up ridiculously steep slopes. I don't even need anti-tip wheels because my centre of gravity is bang in the middle of the chair. I've got whatever downforce of weight I am or the user is, whatever downforce of weight the chair is. So with batteries, this chair is 27 kilos. Without batteries, it's 24 kilos. And you've got the big wheels, meaning that it's almost impossible to tip. The only way you're ever going to tip this chair is if you are going up a ridiculously steep grassy bank, for example, completely driving like a moron basically, and you hit something like a molehill or something popping up and you're already at that angle and it pops your front wheels up and you're leaning back. But to be honest, like that's not going to be a scenario that any of our customers are going to be getting themselves into, because you just wouldn't use that chair in this way. That'd be bizarre. You'll see later on when we take this chair up and down a grassy slope, it doesn't even struggle. It's incredibly capable. I'd say after our Smart Chair X, this is our second most capable model. So That means also the Smart Chair XL and the Smart Chair Recliner, they're both our second most capable models. At the back we've got 12.5-inch rear wheels. We've got solid rubber tyres, that means no more punches, and they're nice and spongy. These tyres are as close to mimicking the properties of a pneumatic spongy tyre, but without any punches. So I don't understand why customers are buying, well, people still go out and buy chairs with, or mobility scooters with pneumatic tyres. I don't know a single owner that has a mobility product with pneumatic tyres that's not got a puncher. The last thing you need when you're a vulnerable type of person is being stuck in the middle of nowhere with a puncher. At the front, we've got our upgraded front wheels. These are our 8-inch solid wheels, incredibly grippy again, great for cambers, great for going up and down curbs, great for tackling rough terrain. All round, just a very, very capable and solid chair. Right, let's go outside. Let me just quickly see what this chair's programmed at. So I don't know if we had, who we had in this chair. It could have been a 16-year-old kid, it could have been a 90-year-old who wants to use it for a very slow and controlled manner. Yes, it is. So it's been toned down quite dramatically. What this means by toning down the acceleration is, it means we're toning down the sensitivity, we're toning down the punchiness. So I'm going to put the chair back to manufacturer settings, which is 15, and on speed. Yeah, so it should be level 20. So we're going to stick that back up. And then that's going to give me the capabilities and the responsiveness that I need to get the most from this chair. So I'm going to turn the chair off because freewheel mode does not work when it's on. I'm going to pop it in freewheel mode, and we're going to push the chair outside, and we're going to, I'll show you what the chair can do, and I think you'll be quite impressed. So. Okay, I'll grab the door for you. Perfect. Right, so to pop it back into electric mode, tap, tap, and now we can sit in this chair and go. So for me, this is quite a short chair length. It's under 1 metre, it's about 940, something like that, if I remember off the top of my head. I personally need a telescopic footplate when I use this chair, and then I'm in the perfect seating position. I'm 5'10", the upgraded cushion's fine, my legs are in an okay place, but naturally my feet want to be here rather than up here. So I would personally use a telescopic footplate with this chair, and then I'm very happy. Right, so we're going to head off. We're going to do some cambers, some curbs. We're going to go over a little ramp, a little cobbled ramp. We're going to go over some cobblestones. We're going to do a grassy bank. I'm going to show you how to reverse up curbs, and I'm going to try and find a full curb to go off for you to show you how capable the chair is, but we'll see what we can find. Okay, so when you're approaching things like this, you want to go slow and steady, dead square on. Front two wheels want to hit at the same time, followed by the back, so that's fine. Right, we're now going to go across the road. We're going to go over some cobbles. No cars, that's always a good thing. Go over these cobbles, hopefully there's no problem at all. Go over it again. There's no problem at all. Right, let's go find some curbs to tackle. We're going to head up here. Okay, so I'm going to bring the joystick down at the moment. I'm at speed level 3. Some people that are more beginners, you might want to bring it down further, and I'm going to creep up to the curb. A great way to creep up to a curb is doing what's called a pulsing technique. So it's a start-stop on the joystick. It's how you creep up to it so you get yourself in the right position. And that is about 1 inch or 2 away from the curb. Because you want to be close enough that it's a nice smooth proposition where you climb the curb. You want to be far enough away that you've got a little bit of momentum. Also, what you don't want to do is lean forward when you're doing curbs and watch it, because it puts all the weight in your front wheels. You want to lean back, stay neutral. My front wheel is going to now compress it and gently climb it, and that was easy. You always want to come off curbs dead square. So I'm going to bring the chair down, and I'm now going to roll off nice and slow, dead square, and that's how you come up and down a curb safely. we're now going to show you how to do cambers. So this pavement here has got what's called a left to right camber. That means, because it's lightweight, it's rear wheel drive and front wheel independent, which basically means if you slap these wheels, they spin around like a supermarket trolley. That means wherever the the camber goes, those front wheels will go. So because I've got a left to right slope on this pavement, my front wheels are going to want to veer off this way. And if I don't counter correct that or steer it into the slope, that means we're going to end up in the road, which obviously we don't want to do. So there is some skill and also a learning curve when driving one of these. It's not just the sort of thing you get in it unless you're just one of those people that are good with these type of things. There will be an element of practice. So I'm going to cross steer into this and this slope, and it's going to keep me going where I want to go. So for me, this is really comfortable. I've got big spongy wheels. I feel safe as anything. You just need to understand what you're doing. You need to keep momentum running through the wheels and cross steer. And if you do that, you'll find another little camber here. Cross steered it, no problem at all. I'm now going to show the turning circle in tight spaces. And what I'm going to do is I need to create the angle to come off this square. So I'm going to get height here, swing it in, and that means I can come off this curb dead square. Right, we're going to go and do the curb up here now. Right, so I'm just going to talk to you about wheels. So, on a good quality chair with good quality wheels, preferably that are rubber, your maximum curb climb is a quarter of each wheel. So if you split that into 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that bottom quarter is your max curb climb. That equates to a quarter curb maximum, or a drop curbs. Your quarter curb is your maximum. And if you take that and split it into 4, that is going to be your max curb climb. So that equates to a half curb. So we can go up, dropped and quarter curbs forward. This is a good sized quarter curb, and then we can go up half curbs in reverse. So I'm going to creep up to this, and this is where you need to be dead square. You need to do your little stop an inch. I'm going to lean back now, or stay in what's called neutral, and we're just going to gently climb it, and that was then nice and smooth. I'm now going to come off dead square. You guys can come past, don't worry. Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. Okay, and if I'm doing a curve in reverse, what we want to do is slam the chair in reverse, allow the front wheels to spin, and then line ourselves up. Once we get a couple of feet away, we want to bring our hands to pincer position, slam it in reverse. Our back 2 wheels will hit at the same time, followed by our front 2 wheels, and then we've just got up the curb. Right, I'm just going to get to here, and I spin round, and we're going to go down this pavement. So if the cameraman can kind of get low here, and can you make out this kind of state of this pavement? So you've got dip number 1, dip number 2, a load of drain pipes, you've got loose gravel, and you've got a right to left camber. So you can watch how easy this chair takes it. So when you've got dips, you're going to go bang in between the dips, in the middle of them. That's going to stop you from kicking out to the side too violently. And then I'm going to stay about 3/4 of the way up, and I'm just going to drive straight through this. So this sort of chair will handle this no problem at all. Around the corner, remember to always loop round to get enough clearance so your back wheels don't get too close to cutting off corners. You want to make nice swooping turns, like so. Brilliant. Right. We're now going to go try some grass. So like I said, after the Smart Chair X, this is our most capable chair. The different terrains it can do are like loose slate, you can do tight compact gravel, you can do your grass fields and things like that in the summer. Pretty much anything really. The only thing you can't do is loose gravel. You see, like that person's drive, it's got loose stones, it's very deep, that would struggle, but other than that it can do everything. Until you actually come out on a demo, you don't actually realise the difference in capabilities between what I call a quality high grade chair to an entry level model chair, which are the types of chairs you can buy for about 800, 900 quid. It's actually impossible to buy a quality chair for under about 1,700 quid. The parts you just can't. Once you add up the parts, they just do not equal a low amount. And the way these chairs react and handle is honestly night and day. So we're going to go down this grassy bank, which is quite steep. It's cold. It's been raining. It's long grass. It's muddy. Whenever we go down any hill, speed level 1. So we want to allow the motors to stop. So we're always in full control. Once I get closer down, I'm going to start turning in. So I turn it now, and then I'm going to go down the end to show you how capable it is on muddy grass. And then just before I go up here, if you can get low on the camera, just so you can kind of see the slope of it, if you can get close to it, just so you can see that the sort of steepness of the slope. It's quite hard to see through the camera. But we're going to head up now. That's pretty muddy. It's quite a long grass, and that blitzed up there pretty fine. I didn't do the best line either. So there's a curve at the end. I'm going to go down the full curve just to finish off, and then that's us done. So I'm going to try and get the angle, try and turn off. There we go. Even this chair can do a full curve, no problem. I'm just going to get out of the way so I don't get run over by DPD, and then that would be a great place to end the video. So, a highly capable chair, great for indoor-outdoor, great turning circle, quick release wireless batteries, and a great price point at the moment. If you are looking for a perfect all-rounder, which comes as standard with all the upgrades, upgraded front wheel, upgraded 3 to 3.5 inch contoured cushion, this is the model to go for. It folds up nice and small, so it's easy to get in the cars, easy to lift. I'd say an average man can easily lift this chair. A lady, if they're strong, could lift it without the batteries, or certainly 2 women could do a 2-man lift, or an older couple could do a 2-man lift, no problem. If anyone can't ever lift these chairs, and it's always better to go for a heavier, more planted multi-terrain chair than a lightweight chair, which are really meant just for indoor use. There are always things like ramps, telescopic ramps, scissor lifts. Worse, if you really can't manage any of the others, then you have to get a hoist. But you're far better getting a chair that matches your needs and use case and your disability, and working out how to get it in and out the car, than going for a really lightweight chair and just buying a chair that's completely unsuitable for your lifestyle and use case. So I hope this chair has kind of done itself proud, and we've shown off all of its good aspects, and you can see why it's our second most capable chair and one of our best sellers. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.